So, anybody that has seen any of my more recent flight videos has seen that I've kind of been on this little Diatone 215. It's the Diatone Tyrant 215. Great little frame. I researched a bunch of them when I was looking to go with something in carbon fiber after I crashed my last 3D printed quad. And yeah, this seemed to suit everything I wanted to do. It came with a nice little power distribution board, which had both a 5 volt and a 12 volt back on board. And don't mind the grass, that's an extra feature. Nice spacing for a standard flight controller. Had the piezo buzzard also on board. And if you see the video transmitter, which is there in the back, that's a little 600 milliwatt, goes to a plug and then gets sent down the distribution board and comes out right there, which is nice. I don't have to run wires for my camera all the way from the front to the back. So I love this little frame. Built it as a 3S. It lacks a little bit of punch, but it's actually not that bad. It's a great little trainer. Crashes very well, as you can see on these little motor guards, which are really nice. They protected my motors very well. It's taken quite a bit of hits. 4mm carbon fiber on the base, 2mm on everything else. So that was build version 1. So I started flying this thing around, realized that when you're not so scared of crashing it, you can actually learn a lot quicker with one of these guys. So I started getting decent with it. So I went and entered the FatShark Frenzy, which is in Kimberley, Ontario, from August 19th to the 21st. But a little 3S wasn't going to do it. So I have a bunch of 3S batteries. I didn't want to just kind of leave them off to the shelf. So I left this frame as it was. It flies well. I know it works well, so I'm going to leave that as it is. And I went and bought all new parts. Ooh, look at this. And no grass yet. I have been flying this actually a bit. Now, what's kind of prompted this video is I actually went and I put together a build video when I put this together. And I edited it, I then reviewed it, and while I was reviewing it, I kind of sat back and went, well, this is just another build video. And honestly, there are so many of them out there that I said, you know what, I'm just going to grab my cell phone, which is this shaky little guy right here, and I'm just going to do kind of a overview of what I've done and the key features of this frame. So this is it. I like my Mobius. These cameras they're not like, I can't get 60 frames per second at full 1080, but other than that, they work quite well. They're very slim, low profile. I like how they lay flat like this, not like the GoPros where they kind of sit up. So the camera holds up very well to a crash, and I've crashed on that quite a few times. So the board I'm running on this one is the Seriously Pro Racing F3 Mini, which the key feature to that is the race transponder that's built into it. Like I said, I was putting this together for an upcoming race, so I wanted to have the race transponder already built in, and this is compatible with the iLap system. So I also, when I bought this with a 600 milliwatt video transmitter, but of course after reading the rules realized that 600 isn't going to work, so I went and just put in this little 200 milliwatt. And so that should allow me to stay within the guidelines of the rules. So this thing's pretty much all set up. I have the right video transmitter, I have the iLap compatible timing system, the infrared on it. I stayed with these DYS XM 20 amps. Love it. They work great. The BL Heli suite is really nice to configure. And this one's been set up so that I can go into the suite, flip them all over to reversible ESCs, and basically turn this thing into a 3D quad. I'm not going to worry that until after the competition, so right now I just have it set up as standard. I'm running these nice 5045 dowel props. Love these props. They're actually very nice, very rugged. I haven't broken any yet, so which is pretty good. I'm running the Omway 700 TVL FPV camera. Now, this one has the 600 milliwatt in it, and it's tiny. It's actually really small. It's not one of the mini FPV cameras. It's a bit bigger, but it fits in there very nicely, and I 3D printed a mount for it. So I figured, the 700 TVL can't be much bigger. So what I had to do was I had to actually take this plate and file it back so that the camera would actually recess into the carbon fiber plate a little bit. So that works. Now on this one, I'm using an FrSky setup, and with the smart port, you can send your telemetry, your voltage, everything back to the smart port on the FrSky. And this one's got the X6R just because that's what I had. So I depinned it, decased it, and then soldered everything on and shrunk it. So this has got the X6R. I went and bought an X4R for this one, and I did the same thing. So I have a Turnigy 9XR. So if you add the little cable to the back of it, it actually allows you to send the telemetry from the module to the radio, and then you can set up the radio to speak on your RSSI and your voltage. But I still missed my OSD. I didn't build this one with an OSD. It was the first model I ever built without an OSD. So I figured a way to fit my OSD on this one, and when I printed the little backpack for the battery, what I did is I made this little pocket and then extended the Mobius mount to fit over top of it. And inside there is a Minim OSD Mini, and it's running the MW firmware. And the great thing about that is not only does it give you your RSSI, your horizon, your voltage, everything on the screen, but it also allows you to tune this thing from the sticks and the goggles. So this is basically what it looks like. The module itself is about the size of a dime, only square. And then I put these little headers on it and then solder basically the video and the extra power lead up to the front, and that's it. That fits down inside there, and away you go. So I can fly it, figure out what I need for tuning, literally go into the tuning menu when you disarm the quad, adjust your PIDs, expo, anything you want to do, and you're off to the races. So that's pretty much it. I went and bought these RS2205, and these are the Emax red bottoms. Ooh, shiny red. And they do perform very well. They came very highly rated, and they're supposed to support upwards to around 30 amps. I'm not drawing that much, so the battery is a 1300 milliamp 4S. That's the 4590C. It performs quite well, so I'm happy with the whole setup. I love these Diatones. There's actually LEDs all the way around on the board on that. So what I'm actually doing here, I'll plug it in very quickly. There we go. So I don't have it set from the board, but there you go. You flick that little switch, and you get white all the way around the front, and red at the back for orientation. So, ooh, pretty lights. So that's basically it. These are my Diatones. Love these frames. Very beefy. They take a punishment very well. So if you're looking for a nice frame for a build, these are great. I love the whole low profile battery plate. The arms are 4mm thick and they're solid. Basically, this thing has just enough room for everything you want to put on it and no extra wasted space. So that's her. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see some of my fellow Canadian Ontarians or anybody local at the FatShark Frenzy next weekend. And I think it's going to be a fun event, as long as we don't get rained on. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and happy flying. Ooh. Have a